Hey everyone, Chief Meteorologist Jordan Frazier here for a quick little live stream talking about one of our last weather impact alert days for this forecast. It's still cold out there, guys. We started to warm up a little bit this afternoon, got up to a nice and toasty 32. That's it. That's all we were able to get up to. Still below freezing for much of the day. Overnight, okay, we started off the day at 14 degrees. That is actually a new record cold. Honestly, not too surprising considering, well, we've been around 14 the last couple of nights. Most of the records are actually in the single digits back from 2021. This one, not so much the case, back from 1955. So yeah, record cold temperatures. I mean, yeah, makes sense. Even our highs, not even close to where our average low is. But I want you guys to keep this in mind throughout the stream. The average high is 65. The average low is about 38. So let's go ahead and go into where we're at now, what we're expecting for tonight. Right now, out of the Midland International Airport, 29 degrees feels like 18. That's a bit better, but still you have that strong enough wind. Sustained right now 14 miles an hour, mainly from the east. But notice one thing, the southerly component to that. With southerly winds aiming to come back into the forecast as early as tomorrow afternoon, we're going to start our warming trend. That's going to initially give us that burst that we need, that quick little oomph to push us above the freezing point. Once we get rid of all cloud cover across the entirety of West Texas, then with the sun and the winds, they do their thing. We go right back up to the 70s, to the 80s, and then, well, we stop after the 80s, so there's no need to worry about that there. Here's what we're looking at in terms of your current temperatures. 29 in Midland, 34 in Fort Stockton. Odessa, something's a little bit off with our reader. It's not 42 in Odessa. Odessa and Midland tend to be within about a degree of each other, so clearly something's a little off, but nonetheless, hey, below freezing temperatures for much of the Basin, much of southeastern New Mexico, and extending its way slowly into those higher elevations that really didn't see the brunt of the cold front until yesterday. Compared to the last 24 hours, it might not seem like it, but we're actually warming up. And it's by a decent amount, anywhere from just a couple of degrees in Pecos, up only 1, to 5 degrees out of Hobbs and Wink, and 8 degrees warmer out of Midland, 7 degrees warmer out of Big Spring. So what's going on here? Well, it was mainly the fact that we didn't have cloud cover for today. No, I'm being serious. Notice you don't see a lot of that cloud cover, which is fantastic. And sun does its own thing. We warm up. Great. There are a few little disturbances though, so let me go ahead and actually zoom in on this. You're probably wondering, Jordan, it's snowing just south of Garden City. No. These are just little disturbances in the atmosphere. It could be anything from flocks of birds, maybe some very low clouds. We're not seeing that. If we are looking at stuff actually moving, maybe look a little bit toward south of Roswell, near Artesia. They might start to see a quick little flurry, but notice how very bright white a lot of that snow that's on here is looking. That means it's mainly being seen in the upper part of the atmosphere, not necessarily down near the ground. We'll keep our eye on it. If we see a couple flurries, it's going to be out of the ordinary, but then again, this entire forecast has been out of the ordinary. That is for certain. So here we go. Not seeing much of anything, not a whole lot of cloud cover. At the end of the day, we are going to be fine, staying away from a lot of that cloud cover throughout the overnight hours. All right, to our warnings. What's telling us that we're warming up? Well, when you have cold weather warnings, doesn't really help with that. We had those extreme cold warnings for the last 2 days. We saw them at first for wind chills down to -5. Then last night, wind chills down to -10. Now tonight, well, where are those extreme cold warnings? Well, they were actually allowed to expire and then replaced with just cold weather advisories. We saw this as being a little bit more widespread across the United States and across much of Texas too when the initial front came through. Overnight tonight, what does it mean for us? It means that we can expect wind chill values getting down to about 0 degrees at the minimum. Expect wind chill values around 10 degrees more so than anything else. You can tell that just by our tonight's forecast. It's already showing some of those teens, no single digits. It's a little bit weird to be complimenting like, hey, look, we're only in the teens, yes. But that's what we've been at lately, okay? So we'll accept it. We'll happily take it. Lots more of those 20s in those higher elevations, and then you throw in the wind chill on top of it all. Single-digit wind chill, but non-negative wind chills. There are a couple areas a little bit colder than others. Van Horn going to be one of the colder spots. Wind chill about 6 tomorrow morning. I have this set to capture the wind chill around 8 a.m. or so, right around sunrise and right when we start to see those coldest temperatures possible. All right, but what is the forecast at this point? Jordan, it seems like you're just throwing darts at a board. Honestly, I am. These forecasts have been consistently inconsistent. And it's part of the job that, yes, you're wrong and you still get paid. I've heard it my whole life. But here's the thing. A lot of the models have been completely wrong about this entire system. And it's not just us. It's other meteorologists. It's the National Weather Service. They have really been underestimating the strength of this cold front. So my guess for tomorrow is 40 degrees. Now, that seems a little bit low. And it is. I'm going on the lower end of the spectrum because a lot of the cloud cover that has been expected to move out really hasn't moved out. We're really just dependent on the cloud cover and also the wind. How strong is that wind going to be? If it's very weak, it's not going to be funneling in a lot of warm air. You guys get where I'm coming from, right? So I'm going to go on the lower end. Hey, let's expect at least 40 degrees. If we get up to 45, let's be pleasantly surprised. So that's where we're kind of at for this forecast. Once we get rid of a lot of that cloud cover and the ever-changing winds, then we can get a lot more accurate data from these forecasts. So let's talk on that future track. There's actually a lot going on outside of us, not necessarily for tonight. So let's move it along. You see these bands of clouds. Now that band of clouds, that's going to be sticking around throughout much of tomorrow morning and even into the afternoon, but it starts to clear up a little bit. But notice that darker gray right around Midland, Odessa, even out toward Pecos and Carlsbad. That is going to be the low-level cloud cover. That's the unpredictable stuff. Satellite and model data doesn't really see that too well, and it tends to be the stuff that keeps us under this, hey, it's going to be kind of cold. But also notice a little bit out here. What's going on in San Antonio? What's going on in Austin? Are they looking at freezing rain? Yup. Luckily, we're not having to do that. Boy, oh boy, a Friday night in San Antonio and you're dealing with freezing rain. Now, don't get me wrong, we're still going to be below the freezing point come the next couple of nights, even though, yeah, it's not going to be 11 outside, it's not going to be 20 outside, but when you're still at 25, even 30 degrees, it's not the most comfortable at the end of the day. Here's what I have for your Saturday. Saturday, cloud cover goes away. By the early part of the morning, we start to see that southerly flow coming back in, and we end up warming back up. I will happily take that. Rain chances staying out of our region and out of our forecast as well. So, came across a lot of salt in that road. Yeah, they've been brining the roads across much of West Texas lately. Salt is not necessarily good for your car. Might want to get it washed. When are they going to be the good days to do so? I'm going to tell you right now, Friday is going to be kind of hit or miss. Mainly because, yes, we are going to get above freezing, but it's only going to be for a very short period of time and we get back down below freezing. So I would really hold off. You can do it if it's absolutely necessary. Saturday, Sunday, weekends are going to be the best time. Just a fair warning, don't go when I go. I don't want to see the lines. Nah, I'm kidding. I washed my car last week. We're good here. Here's what I have for your next 7 days. Roller coaster once again. 40 degrees for tomorrow. Again, we could get up to 45. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'll tell you the truth. If I don't know what's going on, I'm gonna tell you I don't know what's going on. It's okay. It's part of the gig. 54 by Saturday. Notice though, once the cloud cover from Friday and Saturday goes away, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, some of the warmest temperatures throughout the forecast. We start steadily going back down to the 60s by Thursday, overnight lows around those 40s. But remember what I showed you earlier? Yeah, it was the almanac showing that, hey, our average low is 38, our average high is 65. So even Thursday next week, while it might seem colder compared to Monday, that is where we should be for late February. So just keep in mind, follow the 4 Ps for tonight, even a little bit into tomorrow, but it's not enough. I'm going impact alert. I'm not expecting any more widespread cold advisories, extreme winter warnings, you name it. They keep changing the name of these warnings, so if I can't keep up, I'm sorry. So if you do want to keep up with us, maybe read the warnings out on your own time, or even check the latest forecast that I write out, and myself and Andy Mead, our morning meteorologist, he's checking those, writing those out. We also throw in some graphics from the shows, or maybe graphics that, hey, you just didn't get the chance to see. We also show our own clips from the shows. So if you want to get your full weather forecast whenever you want, go ahead and download that NewsWest 9 app, or even just go to newswest9.com/weather. Get you hour by hour forecast, everything. And you know what best part is? Everything is free. You might have to deal with an ad, but we deal with them all day long, every day. And nonetheless, nothing is going to change there. So go ahead and enjoy your night. Stay warm out there. And of course, keep an eye out for those electric bills, because that's going to be fun come after this winter blast.